Hello, Sync and Flow family. Welcome back to another episode of Sync and Flow, the podcast. This is the first official podcast I'm recording in 2025, which is really exciting. It always takes me a little while to get back into the year, ground my feet, get my head back in the game. We also started this year with so many planets in retrograde, which always signifies like a slow start, which always signifies, the need to be contemplative and not rush and move slowly and have a capacity to meet the world with a reflective nature. So I'm really excited to be recording with you guys today. I feel like I have some tea to spill in this episode, which is really exciting. I really do have all the tea to spill. So buckle up, get ready. I am so excited. This episode we're going to be talking all about dating and how you can become the ultimate black cat and be a goddess in your experience of dating. How to receive ultimate princess treatment from men. How to have a really good, confident, ecstatic, pleasurable, juicy, exciting, sexy dating life, okay? And it truly is possible. I have been having so much fun dating over the last year or so. It's really been such a big learning lesson and also such a beautiful reflection of myself and where I'm at in my own journey and my own embodiment journey and confidence journey and healing journey, because everyone you attract is just a reflection of you in the end, right? And so you can really gauge your level of maturity by the level of maturity of the people you are attracting into your life. So I'm really excited to talk about this. I feel like this has been a big kind of, not secret, but something I've definitely not spoken about enough on social media, on the podcast to you guys, about how, really one of the most amazing effects of being in your power and owning your femininity is the capacity for your dating and relational experiences to be so enjoyable, to be so fun, to be so pleasurable, to be so life-giving and exciting and just a really good experience, right? Because if you are single right now and you are not having fun dating, then there's something that we need to fix. I mean, even if you're in a relationship and you guys have lost your spark, or you feel like you've stopped dating one another and, he's not pursuing you anymore, that's also not fun. It's like, that's when we hit plateaus and get stagnant and the energy kind of just levels off, and, you prevent yourselves from growing within the relationship with each other. You should never ever stop dating someone, no matter how long you've been with them. So this is really fun. I have been learning so much about black cat energy. If you are a girly on the internet, I'm sure you know about black cat energy. There's this woman, Anna Christina. She's German Australian, and I don't know if she invented it, but she speaks about the black cat theory. She speaks about women being black cats and men being golden retrievers, and the perfect synergy of men and women in relationship with each other is for women to be in their ultimate femme fatale black cat energy, and for men to be the pursuer, the chasers, in their golden retriever energy. The woman being the attractor, the magnetizer, and the men being the chaser, the doer, the forward momentum pusher, right? Anna Christina, I'll tag her in the description below below. You must definitely go check her out. Her podcast is really amazing. She's so funny. And she really talks a lot about how women can fall into these traps of when they start to relate with men, when they start to like a man, when they start to, get excited about the relationship and where it's going. They can start to overdo themselves. They can start to really overwork themselves and start to do too much for the man, for the relationship. They start to kind of almost take on this mothering role of doing everything for him, cooking all the dinners, being the housewife, being, I'm sure we all have experiences of being in that role in a relationship. And so the 3 key pillars I want to talk to you about today are, first of all, do nothing. Second of all, attract, don't chase. Third of all, become unbothered. And the 4th pillar is focus on yourself. And that's all you need to do, especially as the woman. Okay, this is going to be a girl-to-girl chat, a little girl-to-girl spill the tea. So get comfy, get cozy, and strap in. Yeah, it's so important that we as women remain in the magnetic space of attracting. This magnetic energy, it comes from our feminine radiance. It comes from the capacity of our womb to be open and relaxed, our pussy to be open and relaxed, our hearts to be open, relaxed. It is this energetic between the heart and the sex that really attracts men into our field. And there are many different layers of how we as women come into our feminine energy and are able to be in this ultimate receiving space. And a huge part of that, on an external level, is dressing well, looking good, taking care of yourself, good hygiene, getting your nails done, just presenting yourself to the world in a respectable way, in a way that makes you feel good, in a way that makes other people feel good, in a way that allows you to present yourself, your best self, to the world, your sexiest self, your most, well-dressed self, your most artistic self, your most curated and refined self, okay? And it's not to say you need to be fake, but it's more about putting your best foot forward, because in the end, men are very visual creatures, and so when you look good, you attract better quality men, okay? When you look high quality, when you dress like a high value woman, you're going to attract high value men. Okay, it's this simple, really, it is. So that's on an external level. Then it also comes to, like the dynamics between you and men. Do you offer to split bills? Do you always walk in front of him? Do you try to take moments away from him to be the man? And this is why it's so important. Excuse me while I put my contact lenses in. It's so important that we as women learn and heal our feminine energy so that we can actually understand what is feminine energy, what does that feel like in my body, and how can I, in a romantic dynamic or on a date, actively activate our feminine energy. How can we actively activate our feminine energy? How can we be as feminine as possible on purpose? I'm so glad you're enjoying what I'm saying. Thank you. Thank you, Kirsten, for being here. So yeah, it's so important that we know what our feminine energy feels like, so that when we go into dates and interactions with partners or boyfriends or people that we're dating or seeing, we are relaxed in our feminine energy. We're not doing too much. We're not offering to drive. We're not offering to pay. We're not offering to do this and then do that and then do this and open the door for ourselves. We want to be relaxed. We want to be lean back. We want to be in the receiver energy. We want to be in the receiving capacity, right? The person that is receiving, because that is when we are in our ultimate feminine energy, okay? And it's so empowering when you can be in this space, because you can allow your man to pay the bill. You can allow him to open your door for you. You can allow him to carry your bags. You can allow him to take the lead, to take charge, to do the thing, to sort the thing, to call the Uber, to make the plan happen, move forward, right? And you as the black cat feminine woman just get to stand there and relax and look pretty and feel beautiful and feel taken care of and allow him to do more so you can do less. Okay, it is a very important and also subtle awareness that we need to be embodied in. Okay, and even if it starts with you being on a date, like telling yourself do less, do less, do less, you know, and sometimes it has to start that way. Whenever you feel the need to just, you know, do this or say this or fill the gap or make the thing happen, no, just let go, just breathe out and relax and allow him to come to you, allow him to make the plan, allow him to sort it out, to figure it out, to find a way. Okay, your value as a feminine energy woman comes from your inherent worth. It comes from you doing nothing but being everything. Okay, and here's the nuance is to be empowered in your feminine. It's all about being. It's about being the version of yourself that you want to be. It's about being that queen. It's about being that priestess. It's about being that emotional, sensitive, tapped in version of yourself. It's about being relaxed. It's about being in your heart, being in the receptivity of your womb, opening up your womb to receive from him, to receive from life, to receive from God. Okay, it's all the same thing. To receive pleasure, to receive money. The best way to see what your relationship with receiving is first of all, what do you do when you receive a compliment? How does that feel to you? Do you receive the compliment fully, or do you push it straight back and say, oh no, you look pretty too? Or do you really allow yourself to take it in, to receive the compliment, to sit with it, to sit with that energy? Another way to evaluate your relationship with receiving is to view yourself when you get oral sex. How do you enjoy receiving oral sex? How does that feel for you? Do you feel like you can just lie there and do whatever you want and just breathe and just relax and just receive? Be just in your beautiful presence of being in your body and feeling the sensations and feeling the gift of what this person is giving you? Or do you feel like or do you feel it in your head? Do you feel like you need to do something? Do you feel like you always need to, you know, be in control of the situation? Because sometimes you do get to just lie there and fucking receive and just enjoy the moment. Okay, that is what the ultimate feminine woman does. She allows herself to receive as much as is being willing to be given. But the trick is, the more you can receive, the more you will actually be given. That's the thing. The more you open up yourself in your body, in your energetic field to receive from men, from life, from God, the more you will actually receive, because you have a bigger container to receive into. You're more willing to receive. Your body is now tuned into receive. I'm a magnet. I'm open. Life, bring me the juiciness. Life, bring me the pleasure. Bring me my manifestations. Bring me the high quality men. Bring me the men that want to give to me, that want to pour effort into me, that want to take me out on dates, that want to book me weekends away in cute Airbnb cottages in the middle of the mountain with hot tubs and champagne and, you know, like cute vibes like that. Like, bring me the men that want to treat me like that, because there are men out there like that. There really are. But in order to attract those kind of men, you need to become the kind of woman that has that man at her side. AKA, you need to know your worth. Yes, Kirsten, exactly. You have to know your worth. You have to know your goddamn worth. You have to know that your worth as a feminine woman is inherent. It comes through you just being you. There's nothing you have to do. There's nothing you have to say. There's nothing you have to be. You just be yourself. And you know that you are first prize. You know that you are fucking worthy. You know that your presence alone is so valuable. Okay, one of my favorite manifestation coaches always says, My energy is expensive. Okay, I love this manifestation. I love this affirmation. My energy is expensive. I am a high value woman. And by embodying those truths, you then put yourself in an energetic space where you can attract men that truly honor you and truly see your value. They don't expect you to do or be or say anything other than your purest, most feminine, most authentic, most loving, nurturing, creative, giggly, excited, girly self, okay? And it's such a blessing because around men like that, that's when you can truly relax and exhale and actually just turn your brain off. Like, that is one of the biggest green flags for how you know you are dating a masculine man and you are in your feminine and he is in your his masculine, and you are, you know, in a good energetic dynamic, is you can turn your brain off. You feel like you don't need to worry. You feel like you can just go with the flow and, you know, he's going to sort it out. He's going to sort out the bill. He's going to sort out the time. He's going to sort out the schedule. He's going to book the appointment. He's going to book the dinner. He's going to pick you up. He's going to tell you when to be there, how to be there, what to do, you know, like he's got that all figured out for you. And all you need to do is be in your feminine energy, is to show up in your feminine energy. And by showing up in your feminine energy, you are going to give him the gift, okay, of your feminine energy, because this world is so fucking starved of feminine energy. We know that. We've grown up in a horrible patriarchy, okay? This world is so starved of feminine energy, and there's nothing that activates and excites a masculine man more than a feminine woman, okay? He goes wild for her. He really does, because suddenly she's not telling him what to do. She's not being a control freak. She's not trying to be his mom. She's not trying to change him or make him different. Suddenly he can just be him and she can just be him, and then they can meet in the middle. Actually, like, he's doing all the work and she's just chilling there doing nothing, right? But it's energetic work. It's not work that's like, oh, it's unfair that this is like this. No, it's just like this, okay? This is how it's been. This is a biological truth. If you look in nature, it is always the male birds that are, first of all, brightly colored. They're super brightly colored, and they are the ones that do the mating dance for the women, for the female birds. The male birds are also the one that builds the nest, and the female birds then go to his nest and they check it out and they're like, I see what you did here, but I don't like it. And she like breaks it all up and she's like, try again, bitch. And she flies away, you know? Or she enjoys it and she's like, I can see you've put such hard effort into this. How beautiful that we have this amazing view of all the trees. This is a perfect place for me to want to lay my eggs and have my babies, right? So it really is. It's the masculine that makes things happen in the physical. But it's the woman, it's the female that makes things happen in the spiritual and emotional. The masculine is connected to the mental and the physical. The female is connected to the spiritual and emotional realm. And it is up to the feminine to know her power, to know her worth, to know her strengths, right? We didn't grow up in a world that taught women about their feminine power and their feminine energy. And so when women empower themselves to become the black cat, to step into their ultimate femme fatale, to be a black cat, to be in their feminine energy, to be a queen, goddess, siren, priestess, fairy alien babe, because there's so many different expressions of the feminine. The feminine is not just limited to one form of expression. She is multi-dimensional. She is every single color of the rainbow. She is so broad and vast and big and intense and creative, but also gentle and soft and nurturing. And so it is up to us as women to truly empower ourselves in our feminine energy so that we can encourage masculine men. We can encourage men to step more into their masculine energy, to feel empowered in their masculine energy, to feel proud of being in their masculine energy. Because this is another thing. A lot of men are disassociated from their true healthy masculine energy because we grew up in a world that only showcased toxic masculine energy, right? And so a lot of men feel guilty for being in their masculine energy because they think it is toxic. They think it is dangerous. They think that it is wrong, okay? And that is just so fucking sad. And so when us as feminine women or feminine energy beings can be empowered in our feminine energy and unapologetically shine our feminine energy and radiate our feminine energy into the world, it becomes like a permission slip, not just for other women to be in their feminine and to take up space, but it becomes a permission slip for masculine men to be empowered in their masculinity, to be proud in their masculinity, to be strong and centered and rooted in their healthy masculine. It's very important for us to know our partners, the men that we're with, they don't need to be, like, it would be great if they knew about all these polarity things and masculine and feminine energy, and I feel like that is slowly starting to come. But you know, we as women, we are the creators, we are the creatrixes, we are the birthers, we are the polarity that goes first. The feminine always goes first, right? It is always the inception before the conception. Seed that comes before the tree. It is always the light of creation that comes before the form. So we as women, if we are empowered in our feminine energy, and we can allow ourselves to become grounded in our healthy feminine energy, that is going to naturally polarize the men around us to become more masculine, okay? Feminine women attract masculine men. Masculine women attract feminine men. Okay, it's really simple. It's all about polarity and duality and opposites attracting. And so the more feminine you are, the more you make it a part of your life to heal your relationship with your feminine energy, the more you will be able to attract a masculine man. And if you are already in a relationship and you are a woman and you want to heal your relationship to your feminine energy and you want your man to be in his masculine, then that's great. You can still do that. You can still message me today, right now, and tell me you want to do feminine embodiment coaching with me, because you working on you is going to rub off on your man naturally. It's like energetic proximity, okay? They say you are a product of the 5 people that surround you and you most interact with, right? So if your partner, your man, is one of those 5 people, you working on you and you getting healthy and healing your coping mechanisms and your trauma responses and healing your relationship to your womb, your pussy, your sexuality, your sensuality, and your feminine energy, that is going to naturally polarize your man into his healthy masculine energy. This is literally this is the universal law of energetics. Okay, this is how we as women affect change in the world, by embodying what we would like to see in our external reality on the inside first. Okay, it all starts from within. As above, so below, as above, right? The external world is a mirror. We live in a mirror universe. The external world is merely a reflection of your internal world, of your internal rhythms, of your internal universe, of your thought patterns, your belief systems, your feelings, your patterns, your everything, right? And so if you want to affect change in the world, the most empowering way to do that is by taking full responsibility for the self. And that to me is so empowering, and it is so relieving, because it means that, you know, my to-do list isn't all these complicated external based, fix this, then talk to that person, then do this, then da 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 da. You know, it's not all these complex external factors and structures that I now need to physically get into place. No, it's a internal, mental, emotional structure and paradigm that I need to embody, a structure that I need to incorporate into my life. And it's not even a structure, it's more like a flow, it's more just a way of being, right? But you know, certain ways of being do have structures and ways to believe and think and feel and process, right? Like one of those structures for me is that whenever I find myself going down a spiral, a negative spiral, or self-sabotaging loop pattern, all I do is just catch it before it becomes a thing. I catch it out and say, oh, look, there is my self-doubt. There is my self-sabotage. There is my insecurity. And I look at it and I relate with it and I connect with it and I become one with it. Okay. And I alchemize it from within through embodiment practices, through journaling, through becoming like mirror work is a huge part of healing this and doing this kind of shadow work. Okay. So let's get back to talking within the context of relationships and dating. Really, it's about knowing, like, back to the queen energy, back to the goddess energy. You are the goddess. You are the queen. You are the motherfucking first prize. Okay? He needs to be auditioning to be in your life. It is not the other way around. You aren't auditioning to be in his life. He is auditioning to be in your life. You are the motherfucking director and he is a actor. You're the casting director and he is an actor coming to audition to see if you want him a part of your motherfucking movie. Okay? He is auditioning to be in your life. And so you need to be very picky and very aware of what is the kind of man that you want. Okay, you can write down a list, you can do a visualization, you can feel it in your heart, you can feel it in your womb, you can feel it in your pussy. Right? What kind of man do you want in your life? How do the men that you want in your life take care of you? How do they plan dates for you? How do they pick you up? How do they treat you in public, in front of their friends, in, you know, walking down the street, right? For my standards. And so these become your standards that then raise the up level. Okay. You have to set these standards and expectations of what you are willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept. Okay. Goddesses are allowed to have expectations. Goddesses are allowed to have standards. The expectations come from the standards. The standards set the expectations. It's not like we have these unrealistic expectations. No, we set the standard and the man either matches the standard or he fucks off. And once he matches the standard, then we get to uphold those expectations. You know, like I won't pay for my own meals when I'm with a man. I won't pay for dinner. I won't pay for lunch. I won't pay, you know, maybe I'll pay for like a coffee here and there. Maybe I'll pay for, you know, like a little bit of sweet treats here and there or surprise him with whatever, you know. But generally, men pay for me. I am the goddess. I deserve to be looked after. I deserve to be provided for. I deserve to be protected. I deserve to be, taken care of. And part of that taking care of is a financial taking care of. Another part of that taking care of is an emotional taking care of. Okay. If you are consistently attracting unavailable men, you need to look in yourself. Where are you unavailable? Okay. Where are you emotionally unavailable to yourself? And that will show you where and how and why you are attracting unavailable men. Okay, when you are empowered in your feminine energy, you live with an open heart, you live with an open womb, you live relaxed. That's so funny. A boo-boo just sent me a text. Cute. You live in your relaxed body. You live in your relaxed, open, receptive body so that you can receive his provision, so that you can receive his protection, so that you can receive his love, so that you can receive his effort, so that you can receive his structure, his protection, his providership, right? What do Chelsea and Aaron, some of my favorites internet relationship coaches, they always say he provides inside of her prophecy. If you don't know Chelsea and Aaron, you fucking better. He provides inside of her prophecy. It's so good. It's so good. So let's unpack that. She creates the prophecy. She creates the capacity for life. She creates the space for the home, right? She is the land. She is the earth. She is the garden. And then he gets to come into the garden and plant seeds and plant seeds so that they can have beautiful babies and flowers, right? He gets to plant the seeds. He gets to start to manage the garden, maintain the garden, look after the garden, protect the garden, clean the garden, okay? And she has already been watering and taking care of this garden for a long time. It's not like she can't take care of the garden without him. No, she is the motherfucking garden. She has been watering it and nourishing it and feeding it and looking after it for many, many, many years, for a long time. But when he comes into the garden, that is when she can lean back and put her feet up and say, okay, finally now, I can just relax and allow someone else to take care of my garden for a change. Okay, they have the tools and the, and obviously you need to be able to trust this person. Do they know what they're doing? And that comes also from seeing what kind of person they are. Do they have experience? Are they embodied in their masculine energy? Have they been in long-term relationships before? What is the success rate of their relationship? What is the health of their past relationships? Do they have the education, resources, tools, finances, romantic and creative capacity to come into this garden and make it even more beautiful than it was without him? Even more beautiful, right? Because that's another thing. If a man isn't adding value to your life, then why the fuck are you keeping him around? Okay, if a man isn't, taking stress away from your life, if a man isn't making your to-do list less and your overwhelm less and your overthinking less, then what is he doing for you? You have to be so aware of what is the value that this man is bringing into my life. And can I be really real about that? Because it's important that we remember that as women, our value is inherent. Okay, we bring so much value to every single relationship that we are in just by being our truest, most empowered selves, okay? By being in our self-love, by being in our power, by being in our authenticity. And we women provide different value to men in comparison to what men provide women, right? Women bring the emotional, spiritual tools and understandings and concepts. Men bring the physical, mental, structural tools and concepts. Okay, the value that a woman brings a man is not the same as the value that a man brings a woman. And so as a woman, you need to be very clear on your self-worth so that you know what value you bring to a relationship. You know what value you bring to a conversation, to a date, to an experience, right? Fuck the men and the people that say, what do you bring to the table? Because it's like, bitch, I am the motherfucking table. I don't bring something to the table. I am the table. The table wouldn't exist without me, right? I create the table out of fucking nothing. And this is the thing. We as women, we create, we birth, we manifest from nothing into everything. Manifest and birth from nothing into everything. If you're watching on Instagram or you're watching on YouTube, I just lit up a joint. It's a Friday afternoon. And yeah, we have to be so grounded in our self-worth, in our empowerment, in our value, so that we know the value we bring to relationships. And no one can ever question that value, because you know it in your heart of hearts of hearts, because you give yourself this value, and therefore you bring that value to other people's lives. Okay, this is another thing about being a feminine woman, is you pour into your own cup first. And we can go back to those key tools that I said at the beginning of focusing on yourself, being unbothered, pouring your energy into yourself, not stressing about the external stuff that is out of your control. Because the only thing you can control is yourself, is your own reaction. So pour into your own cup. Okay, if you're a woman in a relationship already and you would like to become the black cat, you found that there's been some energy imbalances in your relationship, in your capacity to receive from your man. Maybe he's not planning as many dates. Maybe he's been very busy with work. Maybe he has just kind of started treating you like you're a part of the furniture. Because that can happen. That really easily can happen in a long-term relationship, especially when you live together, when you're in each other's space all the time. You start acting like housemates, roommates, instead of like lovers, instead of like, the polarity can die. Okay, and that is when women start to become the golden retriever and the mothers, and they start chasing and they start doing all the things, and I made you food, and look at this amazing meal that I cooked, and I spent the whole day cleaning, and I cleaned your office, and I did this and I did that and I did this. And he just comes home from work and he's like, oh thanks, I love you, like, oh thanks, great, good for you, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, that is when men start taking women for granted. The more women do for men, the less men respect women. Okay, and this is a part of the black cat theory. That as women, if we want to be more respected, if we want to be more valued, we actually have to do less. Okay, it sounds funny, but we have to draw back our energy. We have to take away our energy. Stop pouring it into that man and into the relationship, and start pouring it into yourself. Because when you, and this is how the dynamics work of the polarity of the feminine and the masculine, when you as a woman pour into yourself and you fill up your own cup, your cup then starts to overflow naturally into him, into the relationship, and into everyone that surrounds you and is in your life. And so that is naturally how it works. Okay, the more you pour into yourself, the more you will pour into the relationship, the more you will pour into the people that surround you. This is just how the feminine works. She overflows when she is fed, well nourished, happy, resourced, full of love and gratitude and good energy, right? She will overflow that good energy into the people that surround her and into the people that date her. Okay, and this is how men will start to respect you more, because men, lovers, friends, people can only love you as deeply as you love yourself. People can only meet you as deeply as you've met yourself. People can only meet you as deeply as they've met themselves. They can only love you as much as you love yourself. And you treat other people how to love you based on the ways that you love yourself. Okay? You teach other people how to love you based on the ways that you love yourself. Think about that. Okay? You set the standard. And by the way, for those wondering, this is a fake lip ring. I'm just wearing it here for now because I think it looks super cute, especially with this new lipstick that I got. Well, it's not new, I always had it, I just didn't have it stocked for a while. But yeah, these are the cheat codes. These are how this is how you're going to have the most amazing experience in dating as a woman. Okay, this is how you're going to make sure that you only attract masculine men who want to provide, who want to take care of you, who want to pay your bills, who want to spoil you and give you princess treatment. This is how you make them obsessed. Okay, if you want to make men obsessed with you, you have to be obsessed with yourself. You really do. That is the secret. Okay, because when you show him through your own self-care and like how good you take care of yourself, how much you love yourself through the way you take care of yourself, by going to yoga, by getting your nails done, by dressing well, by taking time for yourself, by not being always 100% available to him every single time he asks or every single time he picks up the phone, you know, by having your own life, your own structure, your own schedule, your own hobbies. This is how you are going to get his respect, because you are your own person. And you show him that you don't need him, but you would like him in your life, okay? Because when you need someone or you need something, you come from a space of lack. And so whenever you approach a relationship from a space of needing the other person, that's when you are in lack and you automatically just push and repel the other away, okay? Neediness is not attractive. Neediness does not cultivate abundance. Abundance of love, abundance of boyfriends, abundance of connections, abundance of friends, abundance of manifestations, abundance in all forms, abundance of money, abundance of pleasure. Okay, neediness does not attract abundance. And so this is why it's so important for us as feminine women to pour into ourselves first, so we can fill up our own cup from within and we feel that love, that abundance of love, that infinite potential of love that lives within our body, our heart, our womb. When we heal and we connect and we have deep levels of self-intimacy, then we overflow and our abundance internally becomes abundance reflected externally. And that abundance also is in the form of high value, high quality men that want to take care of you, that want to spoil you, that want to look after you, that want to date you, that want to treat you like a fucking princess, okay? When you treat yourself like a princess, you receive princess treatment from men. When you treat yourself like a queen, you receive queen treatment from men. When you treat yourself like a goddess, men will 1,000 million billion %, and I am a living proof of this, call you goddess. See that you're a goddess. Worship your fucking goddess body, your goddess pussy, your goddess everything, your goddess lips, your goddess neck, your goddess everything. If you want to be worshipped, you have to be a goddess, okay? Only goddesses are worthy of being worshipped, okay? These are the cheat codes. And a goddess holds her standards. A goddess knows. A goddess sets the rules for engagement. She says, do not dare enter my temple without taking your shoes off. She says, how dare you not take your shoes off at the door? How dare you not clean yourself and show some respect, because I am the goddess. I am the all-powerful feminine. I birth new realities. I am a change maker, an alchemizer. I have this deep connection to spirit through my womb, through my capacity to bring unborn souls into this reality. Okay, that is our superpower, and that is what makes us different from men. We receive the soul into our womb. The sperm goes towards the egg. The egg doesn't chase. The egg just chills there and waits for the sperm to come to her. Okay, but then even again, she chooses, right? The sperm, and they've done so the sperm race towards the egg, but then eventually the egg chooses. The egg looks at all the sperm, sees all of the genetic potential, genetic quality, scans for any defaults or, things that are not right, and she chooses the highest quality sperm. The egg chooses the highest quality sperm that's going to give her the best chance of implantation, of fertilization, right? And so us as women, we need to become so empowered in our black cat energy, in our femme fatale self-worth. This is dark feminine energy we're talking about here. Okay, this is actually, it is combining dark feminine energy with light feminine energy. Okay, we also working with seduction. We seduce our partners. Thank you for being here, Kaya. Please feel free to ask. We seduce men. We are the beautiful flowers, and we just radiate our beauty in our uniqueness. In our uniqueness of our beauty, we radiate, we bloom in the sun, and we allow the birds and the bees to come to us. Okay? This is what it means to attract and not chase. This is how your dating life is going to be revolutionized. This is how you're going to attract men that match, that are an energetic, emotional maturity match for you. And the best thing about this is the more healing you do, the more you go to therapy, the more self-awareness, the more mindfulness, the more shadow work, the more healing, the more everything you do as a self-development practice, the more you do that, the more refined and special and unique and rare your energy becomes. And therefore, the more special, unique and rare, high quality version of men you attract. Okay, I've seen this so much, like over the last year. The quality of men that I am attracting into my life is just improving every single time. Every single man that I date is an improvement from the man I dated before, is more mature, is more providing, is more giving, is more generous, is more loving, is more caretaking, is more spoiling of me. Like every single man is an upgrade, because I have continuously upgraded my self-worth. My healing, my connection to my feminine energy has never ever been as strong as it is today. Okay, this is like one of the best parts about healing your feminine energy, healing your womb, healing your trauma, healing your heart, is the types of men and relationships, not just romantic partners, but also friendships, like soul tribe friendships that you start to attract. It's mind-blowing, and it really helps you to see yourself, because we only get to see ourselves through the reflection of the other. That is the whole point of relationships, is for that mirroring, because that's the only way we can see ourselves. So we have our own blind spots. We can look in the mirror and we can see ourselves as clearly as we can by cultivating that self-awareness and that mindfulness and the capacity to see so deeply into ourselves. But we still have our blind spots, and that's why we need the reflection of the other to reflect back our blind spots and reflect back the fullness, the full picture of who we are. And it's so exciting when you start attracting really healthy, potential partners, really healthy friends, like people who are just like on your level. People are also committed to healing their trauma, to going to therapy, to being self-responsible, to being more conscious, to being more ethical, to being more, in love with themselves, right? This is something we should all be working towards, is to cultivating more and more self-love as we grow, as we expand, as we evolve, right? The ultimate goal is to just become so utterly obsessed with yourself, that you demand the highest standards, that you have the highest expectations and the highest standards, right? That things like emotional intelligence become a base minimum, that things like consent become a bare minimum, that things like consistent, healthy communication become a bare minimum. And anyone that isn't meeting those bare minimum standards, whatever they are, and you get to refine those standards, the more and more experiences you have, the more you date, the more you meet other healthy people that are in their, healthy dynamics, the more you get to refine those standards and tailor them to your unique needs, your unique preferences, your unique desires, your unique kinks, your unique ways of being, ways of seeing, ways of creating, ways of living, ways of breathing, right? Like for me now, it's almost a non-negotiable that the people I date have their own, self-development, spiritual practice, that they're either in therapy or they're doing courses or they have their own connection to themselves beyond just the self-I ego. It's like a greater connection to God, to source, to the universe, to spirit, right? And they prioritize that connection. Like that's so important for me. And maybe that's not as important value in your relationships, but it's so important that you get clear on that. You get clear on what is an important value for you to have in relationships and hold that as a non-negotiable boundary, as a non-negotiable standard, and like if men or people that you date don't meet those standards, they're not meant to be with you, right? Then they're not meant for you. Then, there's only so many times, and I say this to people that I date now, like if I have a problem, I'm going to say it. If there's a red flag, I'm going to point it out, and I'm only going to point it out so many times. Like if your communication is shitty, I'm only gonna tell you that I don't appreciate your shitty communication like X number of times. It's usually around 3 times, maybe twice, and it's like after 3 times I'm done. I cut you loose. If you don't listen, if you don't engage, if you don't try harder, then it's done. And it depends on how deep you are into the relation, how long it's been going, how much you've had to go through together. But especially in the beginning phases, it becomes so much easier and more efficient to date like this, because then again you can just start dating someone and they're not who you need them to be. Then sorry, bye. Sorry, boy, bye. Bye, Felicia. You ain't for me. You're not meant to date a goddess, right? And this is what I say. It's like, if this man cannot meet me, it's not that my standards are too much. It's that he doesn't have the capacity to date a goddess. He isn't educated enough. He isn't conscious enough. He isn't smart enough. He isn't emotionally intelligent enough to date a goddess and all that it means to date a goddess. Because if a man wants to date me and get all that I am, my physical beauty, my internal beauty, my heart, my beautiful caretaking, the fact that I'm an amazing cook, I love to take care of the people that I am close with and that I, care for in the most deepest, beautiful, most nourishing, soul enriching way. And I know that that's what I bring to the table. And so I'm not going to compromise with someone that gives me less than I give them, because then again I'm just going to be feeling taken advantage of, taken for granted, and not really matched in my effort that I'm putting into the relationship. And there's nothing worse than being in a relationship where you aren't met, where you aren't matched, where your energy and your frequency isn't matched, And that's the thing, as women in our black cat femme fatale energy, do less, especially in the beginning. For the first, I'd say 2, 3, maybe even 4, 5 months, do very little for him. Just be in your power, be in your sensuality, be in your sexuality, be in your body, be in your love, be in your truth, be in your fire, be in your femme fatale power, your black cat energy power. Be in that and allow him to come to you. You do less. Give him that space to show you he is either, yes, worthy of being in your life, or no, not worthy of being in your life, based on his actions, okay? Men also, they love to talk, but it's actions speak louder than words always, okay? Remember that. And when it comes to even relating with men, it's like men, you can talk to them as much as you want about, I don't like this is a red flag, this. and to a point it's helpful, but then after that, men understand actions more. Like, they will understand, like, they don't understand do better, they understand no contact, they understand less communication, they understand you pulling back, and it's all about energy. And this is why I say it's so important that we learn about masculine and feminine energy, so that you can lean back and receive from him, so that he can prove to you why he should be in your life, and you can allow for that natural courting to happen, that beautiful court phase, that talking phase, whatever you want to call it. But again, the woman always goes first. Even in the old days, the woman would drop her handkerchief. She would see a cute man from across the street. She'd be standing by her horse and carriage, and she'd see a cute man, maybe she'd smile at him, and then she'd look at him and she'd like drop her handkerchief. And depending on whether he came up to her to pick it up or not, she dropped her handkerchief to give him the opportunity to come up to her, to pick it up for her and start the conversation. So women, remember that you have that power to initiate, but it's not as an obvious initiation as you think it may be. Yes, in the beginning it is, but then as time goes on, you can slowly start to just lean back and allow him to come to you, and knowing that you are the queen and you get to sit on your throne and straighten your crown. And sometimes as girls, we need to straighten each other's crowns and remind us who the fuck we are, because sometimes bad experiences in dating can leave us feeling low confidence, low self-worth, not empowered, and that's all just really because we have allowed that person to disconnect us from ourselves. We've gotten too over consumed in the other, and this is again when women be in the golden retriever energy. That's when they lose themselves. That's when they disconnect from their power, they disconnect from their sensuality and their authentic femme fatale black cat energy, right? Because they are now focusing more on him and the relationship than they are on themselves. So in the end, it all comes down back to you, the relationship you have with yourself. Are you doing your practices? Are you doing your self-care? Are you getting your nails done? Are you going for massages? Are you going to yoga? Are you doing your Pilates? Are you focusing on your life, your hobbies, building your business, building your career, making sure that you are good, safe, happy, secure? Then that inspires his masculine to come into the picture and to be that opposing force that then meets you where you want to be met. For all my black cats out there, if you feel like you are resonating more with the golden retriever energy, that is also totally okay, girl. The awareness is the first step of healing. Awareness. Have awareness. View yourself, look at yourself, look at the people you relate with, the people that you're dating, see how they act, see how you act. Are you always trying to control the situation, to manage, to take charge, to be in control and in the leadership position? Or are you allowing, and can you allow yourself to let go more, to relax more, to lean back more and receive more from life, from God, from men? It's all connected. Okay, and this is another cheat code hack for manifestation. It's all connected and it's all related to your capacity to also be healed in your womb space, healed in your heart. And this is why I teach womb healing and do all these body energetic, spiritual, emotional practices, because the more we heal the toxic feminine programming inside of us as women, as well as the toxic masculine programming, there's a huge part of this piece of dating that's all about healing our relationship to men, healing our daddy wounds, healing our relationship to the masculine as a consciousness. It's not about any specific man. It is about us as women healing our relationship to the masculine essence of consciousness that lives within us, that lives externally, that is mirrored in all things, just like the feminine essence of consciousness is mirrored in all things in life. But it all starts again from within. So that's why you doing this healing work, going to therapy, working with coaches such as myself, healing your womb, joining my course Liberated Womb, that is going to help you to heal your relationship with your feminine energy and with your own masculine energy on the deepest level possible. And when you heal that and you release the trauma trauma and the stagnant energy that is outdated programming, old toxic programming, stagnant programming, painful programming, programming that is creating suffering in your dating life, in your sex life, in your relationship with your body. You want to get that stuff out, you want to release it. And then the best part of that is the reflection that you see. Your internal life changes, your relationship with your body changes, your relationship with your feminine energy changes, your relationship with your masculine energy changes, therefore your relationship with your father, your brother, and every single man on this planet changes. And therefore your dating life changes and up levels, so you can be treated like the queen that you are, my girl. You are a fucking goddess, and you need to remember that, so you can remind motherfuckers, so you can remind all of them. My name is Josie, the purple butterfly, fairy, witch, priestess, queen, goddess. That is my full fucking name. That is the name I downloaded. That is my divine authority, my divine spiritual authority. That is my divine power. I bestow that upon me. I've activated my goddess power. I've activated my true soul empowerment essence, because I've done the fucking deep hard work to get there. Okay, I can only be as confident and self-sourced and independent and validated as I am, self-validated as I am, because I know I've done the deep fucking hard work to get here, to deserve to have this level of confidence and embodiment and pleasure and power. Okay, and it's not like we even need to say that word, deserve. You deserve it as your fucking birthright, and that is what I want to teach you inside of my coaching and inside of my programs. And I give you the tools and the practices and the methods, my unique methodology, through healing your womb, through healing your voice, through healing your sex, through healing your heart, through healing your relationship with your body, your breasts, your yoni, your pussy, your face, your sensuality, your everything. Okay, so tap in. 2025 has huge things coming. We are in year of the snake. We are in a 9-year numerology. In numerology, we're in a 9-year, which is like the last of the last of the last of the cycle. Next year we will go to year 1 again. So year 9s and year 1s are always really intense, because they are beginning and endings and beginnings of the cycle, you know. The death and the rebirth processes are sticky, and they're hard, and they're challenging, and they're difficult, and it's always like that, right? Whether it's a butterfly trying to pop out of its cocoon, you know, the caterpillar is now all mushy, and now it's having to go mush, and then the mush turning into a butterfly, and then the butterfly trying to break out of its cocoon. Like, we've had so many butterflies here. Sometimes we have like go through seasons here at my house in Hout Bay, Cape Town, South Africa, where we have these butterflies that just put all of their cocoons, everything, all over the walls, like thousands and thousands of butterflies. And a lot of the butterflies obviously hatch and become butterflies, but some of them don't make it. Some of the cocoons stay shut. Some of them, like, you know, they die halfway through the process. And that is just the nature of life. The death and rebirth process, it's difficult. Not everything will make it out alive. And that's the whole point, is like, there are parts of yourself that have to die in order for you to have your best life, in order for you to date, enjoy your time dating, enjoy your time living, enjoy your time being a young human being, a human alive. I love you so much. Thank you for being a part of this community. If you've listened all to the end, you are a special human being. I love you, and I hope to connect with you soon. Liberated Womb is opening its doors again in end of this month, end of February. So March is the launch period, and I'm so excited for you. We will begin end of March, I think. So please join that. Reach out to me if you would like more information on my one-to-one coaching. I have a 6-week and 3-month packages available, 6 weeks and 12 weeks. So please get in touch. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you for being here.